Greetings, dear viewers. Let's do another Magicka Wizard Wars video today. Now, I don't know when this one is getting uploaded. Magicka comes out on Tuesday of this week, and this video may get uploaded on Tuesday, so you may be seeing this on the same day that Magicka 2 comes out, and I don't even know when I'm going to get Magicka footage up, but I'm hoping to get it up. I'm sorry, Magicka 2 footage up, but I'm hoping to get it up as soon as possible, so there's a possibility that this video and a Magicka 2 video will be coming out very close to each other. In any case, in this match, I am solo moving toward the bottom lane until my team decides to move in. But nobody seems to have appeared from the enemy team anywhere on the map. We know that they've taken one spawn point, but we don't have a visual of them anywhere else. So instead of approaching from the eastern side, they're approaching from the north. We've got an enemy coming in, throwing boulders, trying to use a good deal of fire here, and doing a pretty good job at draining my hit points. So I put up a full fire ward while a teammate heals me. I'm on fire, but because of my full fire ward, I'm not taking any damage from it. The fire gets doused, and now we're going on the offensive, trying to push the enemy away. The enemy has two spawn points now. They've got the northwestern spawn point and the northeastern spawn point, which of course is not ideal. It's not what we're looking for right now. My goal now is to get right on top of the enemy spawn point and disrupt them with some defensive spells, and just get in there, knock them down, heal myself up, try and stay alive as long as possible, buy my team some time to close in on the enemy spawn point. And it works. You can see there on the minimap and on the screen right in front of you that my team is now all over the enemy's spawn point, because they had 3 wizards focusing solely on me, and ideally I would have been able to keep myself alive during all that, but that didn't work. In any case, up in the top left in the northwestern spawn point, we can see that three of my teammates were taken down there. They didn't win that fight, but meanwhile I am moving to the northeastern spawn point to try and capture that, because we know we've got 4 wizards up in the top left, and we don't know where they're going from here, but I can go on the offensive because I was the first one to spawn out of that battle. So now I'm moving over to the northeast to pick up this spawn point, which is exactly what I do. Now I'm focusing on the minimap, trying to get a pinpoint of where the enemy is. I've got an ally joining me here, so I've got a little bit of backup. We can see an enemy on the northwestern lane, a couple of them on the northwestern lane, and a couple of them on the southwestern lane as well. So now we're going to engage them here in the middle of the map and try and push toward their spawn points. Now, normally I like to fight on top of objectives, but in this case we've got 2 spawn points. It's okay to engage the enemy in the road here. But feeling that the enemy is moving down to the southern spawn point, I get moving there preemptively. We've got 2 enemies down here that have begun to take over this spawn point. I put up an AoE barrier around myself, try and remove this cold status effect. They drop a dragon strike on top of me, and the imps actually block me off from leaving it. I panic a little bit, and I end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, my team is still doing battle on the spawn point in the south, and in the middle of the road here, we've got one friendly going 1 versus 2, and doing a pretty good job of keeping himself alive, which is good, because that's occupying 2 enemy wizards. Now I'm running through here. I'm going to try and provide a little bit of support, a little bit of assistance. Going to get some cold death lightning off. The enemy is being healed by a teammate, and that teammate is currently unaccosted, so I'm going to change that. Well, no, I guess ideally I would have shot at him and prevented the healer, but my teammate jumped on that, and it kind of switched roles, stopped attacking the one that he was attacking, and moved over. So anyway, I get taken out in this particular fight. The enemy has 2 spawn points now. It's 58 tokens to 68 tokens, so the enemy is ahead by 10, just about 10 spawn tokens, but the total ticking down over time, of course. Now I spawn. I immediately pop a haste spell. I need to tip the spawn points in our favor. I encounter 2 enemies, so I put up my barrier. I can't get past them quite yet, so I'm going to start doing some damage however I can. The enemy is being very aggressive. I'm getting some cold death lightning off. I've got 1 enemy here right where I want him, but he puts up a good wall and is able to actually get away with just a sliver of his hit point bar left. I put up a barrier to block the enemy's beam as they're trying to attack me. I put up a full fire ward and a firewall to protect myself so that I can get some healing done. Again, I am fighting here on a spawn point. I like to fight on top of an objective, and I'm pushing the enemy off the objective so that I'm the only one there, and thus I'm the only one capturing it. The enemy drops a dragon strike on me. I do have an enemy on me now. I'm forced off of the point. I put up a barrier, try and heal myself. The enemy is doing their best to try and take me out. I get back on top of the point. A teammate joins me from the north. Again, full fire ward with a firewall in front of me. This buys me a little bit of time to heal. A teammate comes in and heals me. We've got 2 spawn points up in the north. We've got the southern spawn point, and now the enemy has finished getting taken down by my team by a combination of my boulder and a friendly death beam, and that brings this particular match to a close. Our team was able to rally together and capture all the spawn points. And that was the win condition for that match. So now, okay, now that that's done, we're going to move on to this second match here. That first one was pretty exciting. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of moving around between the different spawn points. And so now we're on the same map in this match. and I am moving down to the southern spawn point. In this case, a teammate is actually joining me. He's a little late. We can see that on the map. He's a little late in moving away from the starting point, but he's on his way. Now I've got an area barrier up here to prevent the beams that players tend to like to use, so they're trying to send some projectiles my way. They get an ice wall up. I burn that down with some fire death lightning. Now I'm getting some more fire death lightning off in the middle of the enemy, but my teammate comes in and sprays me along with the enemy with a fire beam. So, unable to sustain the damage coming from both the enemy and my teammate for some reason, I do fall. My teammate falls because he's then surrounded by more enemies than he can deal with. So now we're left with just one spawn point while the enemy has 2 spawn points. I think my teammate was just panicked. He was just trying to get as much damage off as possible, and he was willing to go through me to do it. So an enemy comes running up here with haste, spots me, and then turns around and bolts immediately when they could have really they could have engaged. They should have been pushing toward my spawn point, but instead they're leading me right toward theirs. I'm going to follow them with some cold magic or some cold elements so that I can try and slow them down. We get into the middle of their spawn point, and at this point I've got the area barrier around me, got my earth shield up, getting my cold death lightning off. I like this particular combo, and then I knock them down with an earth AoE to keep them immobile while I shock them to death. I like this combo because it's really debilitating. It really brings the enemy down, makes it so they can get fewer casts off because they're frozen, they're on the ground a lot of the time. Meanwhile, I'm protected with earth and earth armor and a barrier. So it's a really good combo to try and take on multiple targets, and I think that particular fight illustrates really well what it's capable of doing. So we take that southern spawn point, and now the enemy is engaging us here in the middle of the road. Again, it's okay to engage in the middle of the road when you've got 2 spawn points and the enemy has 1, because they're not really gaining ground on an objective here. They're just fighting for tokens. If they do end up getting kills in the middle of this road, that's fine, because it just decreases your tokens. Meanwhile, their tokens are decreasing at a more rapid rate because your team is the one with 2 spawn points. So engaging on a road is fine here. The spawn points in the north seem to be flipping. The enemy takes over the northeast, we take over the northwest. This still leaves us with 2 spawn points. Now I'm going to cast my haste magic and get over to the northeast one. I know I have a visual on the minimap of all of the enemies. I know where they are. I know I'm going to be able to take this one uncontested, except of course for a couple of imps. So I burn down these imps. I would like to be able to save mine, ideally, but I wasn't able to. So we chop down the imps here. I'm taking over this spawn point. We're about to have 3 spawn points, and the enemy has none. The enemy has only 3 wizards up, and they have no spawn points, so now it's time to clear them out. Now, I saw on the minimap one enemy ran south. That's why I'm pinging the minimap so hard down there, because I'm letting my teammate know, hey, they're about to get a spawn point. We don't want them to do that. So now I'm approaching down here. I'm the first friendly wizard to this location, and I'm going to get in the middle of the area, put up my double water ward so that he can't push me off with a water spell. I knock him down with an earth spell and then begin casting my cold death lightning again to slow him down and then keep him debilitated while my teammates come in, swoop in. We take out this enemy, and that locks the game down. That secures our 3 spawn points. A meteor shower takes out the remaining enemies, and we are finished with this particular match. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.